Everyone has a passion for this. Nobody just falls into aviation. They were brought out as a kid and they looked up in the sky and they saw the plane and they said, that was the moment that I knew that it had to be mine. We have to stop making aviation and an airplane an icon of frivolity.
And I think it's partly our fault, right? The industry positioned itself as like this sexy luxury market, where in reality it is an amazing tool for business and for the economy. Hey, Nick Tarascio here. I'm here with Spencer Bain of Embraer. So let's talk about some airplanes. And let's talk a little bit about you first. I'm interested.
Sure, Nick.
I heard a little inkling of the fact that you have an interesting origin story, like a superhero.
Well, no, not quite like a superhero, but everybody here, and that's one of the things I really like about Oshkosh, everyone has a passion for this. Nobody just falls into aviation. They were brought out as a kid and they looked up in the sky and they saw the plane and they said, that was the moment that I knew that it had to be mine. And my story goes back. My grandfather flew Corsairs off the deck of a carrier in World War II in the Pacific, so Grandpa kind of got me involved in it. And if you've ever been to Buffalo, New York, prior aviation, that's Uncle Jack. So Uncle Jack got me my private pilot's license. All of my uncles on my mother's side, they're all captains for Delta and American. So I had no choice, and I caught the bug early as well.
So I'll tell you a little bit of my random story. I actually grew up in airplanes and didn't know. I thought everyone had cars that they would drive to their airplane, right?
Sure.
Because how would I know any different? I'm in my third grade class, and I just come back from summer break, and my teacher says, "Oh, what'd you do this summer?" I said, "I flew a plane." And she goes, "No, Nick, you flew in a plane." I said, "No, I actually flew the plane and I logged the time." And she called my mother and said, "Nick is a pathological liar." And my mom was like, "No, he actually has a logbook, and that's what he did." So for me, it was very early on.
Sure.
I have a similar origin story and growing up very early and having that bug. So
excellent, yeah.
That's really great. So, talking about the industry, and you've obviously seen it through a lot of different lenses.
I have.
What is the industry doing wrong?
We have to stop making aviation and an airplane an icon of frivolity. Long gone are the days of the people that aren't using this for a truly legitimate purpose, and I don't think that we really express that enough.
Yeah, we've had a lot of challenges with that argument too, and
sure.
I mean, I think it's partly our fault, right? The industry positioned itself as like this sexy luxury market, where in reality it is an amazing tool for business and for the economy.
And Nick, it's certainly sexy. It'll never lose that sex appeal.
Look at that thing.
I know, right? Oh, it's fantastic.
It's pretty awesome. So talking about Embraer,
yes, sir.
It seems like Embraer has a huge grasp on the market right now, and yet I still talk to people that are like, "Embraer who?"
Sure.
I get that a lot. So, why is that? And how has Embraer kind of flown under the radar and really owns the entire light jet market right now?
Without a doubt. I mean, you mentioned owning the light jet market. We sell more Phenom 300s than our top four closest competitors combined, not individually, but combined. And we do suffer a little bit of a name recognition problem. That's only because we've been in earnest in business jets 10 years. Now, if you look back at the history of the company, we go all the way back to 1949, but yet still to this day, sometimes I'll pick up the phone and want to talk to a CEO, say, "Hi, Spencer Bain with Embraer." They say, no, we don't want one of your airliner variant business aircraft. And I say, no, you need to understand, clean sheet design, hottest, sexiest airplanes that are in the air right now, but we're slowly breaking through. And how are we able to do that? We're not manufacturing a Me Too airplane. If we just manufactured a Me Too airplane that didn't do something different than the other guys, you have no reason to take a peek at us. But through spectacular airplanes that are truly category leading, we are breaking through. The other thing that I do like to say, and it's something that we're working on, we are a company of about 17,000 employees. 6,000 to 7,000 are engineers. And that's just the people that are working on engineering. There are a lot of engineers that have come up and are now in senior management positions that also have their origins in engineering. So we haven't focused quite as much on the marketing aspect of our planes, but fortunately our aircraft speak for themselves.
One thing you guys have seemed to do unique is, in fact, a lot of the companies that I've talked to were engineers or pilots or people that were kind of on the inside. And it often seemed that it got siloed, where you had all this innovation happening, but no connection to the customer desire.
Yeah, absolutely.
How have you guys done it differently? Because innovation is probably the most interesting topic this year at Oshkosh.
Without a doubt. What's fortunate is that because we do not have that 35-year history and people that are just within the company saying, well, that's always the way that we did it. We were given 2 ears and only one mouth, and being able to start from the clean sheet design, we're not having to cobble together pieces of other airplanes that worked before and giving you the airplane that we make. Rather than doing that, we're manufacturing the airplane that you say that you want.
Got it. So let's go long vision out. Let's see if you could share this with me.
Yeah.
2027, we'll say, right?
Okay,
We're in 2027.
Yeah.
What does Embraer have sitting on this ramp here?
little bit more composite. I think we're going to see situational awareness that we can't even fathom right now. I mean, we have cars that are parking themselves. What does that mean for the aviation industry?
That'll be pretty exciting.
It's going to be pretty neat.
That's great. Well, I'm hoping that somehow I could get a test flight on one of these things one of these days, so we'll see if I could work my way into that.
Well, if we can clear that bomber out of the way, I'd say we go right now.
Sounds like a plan.
Excellent.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for the
Nick,
time.
thank you
today,
very
Spencer.
much. It's a
Appreciate
pleasure.
it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to our channel. If you'd like to learn more about what we talked about, you can check out all the links in our description. We'll have more videos coming out soon, so stay tuned.